uh, you know, my culture is really based from our core values, right? As a company and the Caprice, so customer centric attitude, professionalism, resourcefulness, intentional growth, and improvement. And everything that we do is tied back to the core values. And really, when I was developing the core values for the company, I looked at the core values for myself. And that's really what was the foundation for our core values and lifestyles. And literally, everybody on my team, they know that our rewards and recognition is tied to core values. Our disciplinary action is tied to our core values. And so we try to create a culture where everybody understands. So we don't just recite the core values, we live them daily. And that's expressed in everything that we do at Lifestyle. So when you come in, if there is an alignment, and even with our hiring process, we do what we call a vibe check. So they come in and the team gets to interact with them. And when the person, if the candidate leaves, we say, okay, well, what's the vibe? Like, do you think that this person will add value to what it is that we're building here? Because we're very protective of our energy and our culture there at Lifestyle.
How did you really get started with your business?
So Lifestyles actually started out as a secondary business to my then main business. It really just started as a content creation machine for my employee wellness consulting firm, my wife's company. And just like I think everybody, or most of us had to do during COVID, we had to pivot. And most companies weren't concerned about corporate wellness, but a lot more people needed media services. And in the in the heart of COVID, we started a television show. We pitched a television show to the government. They didn't pick it up, but cable picked it up. And that's actually how it really started to take off. And once everything started opening up after COVID, I was like, you know what I mean? Like this media thing, let me make this the main thing. And it's been what I've been doing for the last 7 years. I my view on that is actually not very difficult. I think I used to say that. I used to say finding good people is so hard. But I find that when you create an environment and you actually share the real goings on of the company, and that's something that we're very intentional about doing. We share and we actually make our employees our greatest advocates, right? I find that then you have inbound. It's just like in business when you have to advertise and promote and market for clients. We take that same approach with our recruitment. And so we're always talking about how awesome lifestyles is to work. We're also always sharing employee success stories. And so we actually have quite a bit of an inbound of people who want to work with us. So once we have those inbounds, how we actually go through our selection process is the first thing is that we take the resume. The second thing is that once we shortlist you, we actually just submit a 2 to 3 minute video on some questions, right? Or the third phase of that is then we call you in for an actual trial period of anywhere from 2 days to a week, right? That's paid. What we find is that most people aren't even willing to do the video. And so we're in the media space. If you aren't willing to do a video, that's automatically a red flag. So if you don't do that, but we find that everybody who has gone through that process has not only been a loyal and contributing team member, but they actually refer people and they kind of filter them out and prep them as well. And so we recently just had a hire this week, and she just completed her week last week, but she was a referral from one of our team members on the inside. And so I find that it's actually easy once you have the infrastructure in place and the communication system in place, it's quite easy to attract. And I think that's what we need to start doing more as business owners. We have to focus on as much effort as we put on attracting new clients to the business. We need to focus on talent recruitment as well. I mean, like I said, I believe I used to think just like how everybody's saying, right? Like literally, I used to say finding good people is so hard, right? But what happened was is that my business coach asked me to reframe it because it's really not any more difficult than finding paying clients. It's just that for so long, we focus our energies, efforts, and resources in getting clients, but we don't put that same, to Ashanda's point, you don't put that same energy, efforts, and resources in to attracting top quality talent. And if you are attractive enough as an employee, we don't even focus on our employer brand. What are our employees saying about us to their family and friends, right? As an employer. And so if we put so much, if we were to put, and this is what I did, I started focusing more on my people as I'm bringing them in, the culture that, oh, y'all cut me off. The culture that I'm creating, and what I'm saying is that it became easier because of what we're attracting now, because we don't have to go out and find, because literally they're coming from within our organization. So people are referring their family and friends who they know can live up to the values that we have at Lifestyles. People are seeing us on social media. Hey, are you hiring? Are you hiring? Are you hiring? We still put them through the process. And so all I'm saying is if we reframe our minds to say, instead of saying, maybe it's hard to find good people, maybe I don't know how to find good. So one of the things like I learned from my business coach, right, was that first of all, in your business, everything that happens or doesn't happen is your fault. Right? And your workplace is really a reflection of the leader, right? And so if you don't have the culture you want, it's a reflection of the leadership, right? That's how it is straight through. It's how it is in your house, because if your house is in chaos at home, it's a reflection of leadership. If your place of work, if your business is in chaos, it's a reflection of the leadership. And just like Tina said earlier, really as a leader, you have to be focused on elevating yourself, pouring into yourself and growing. And so, if you are having challenges in your business, it is a reflection of you. Thinking about doing, they said, okay, well, I didn't do it like this. This is how I did it. Now, mind you, everybody's different. The market is different, but I believe that the principles of success are universal. And so if you're successful in one area, it takes the same to be successful, the same qualities, characteristics, and skills to be successful in the next area. So really just having that mentor who has been where you're trying to go, to be able to feed and you be able to benefit from his experiences or their experiences is invaluable. And so that has definitely helped me mitigate the risk and kind of circumvent and short circuit the journey to get me closer to where I need to be at a faster rate.
I actually agree with everybody. I think that's something that we all could agree when you're building something that you intend to be bigger than yourself. Balance is an illusion, right? I agree that, like me, I work 7 days a week. I believe in systems, but my wife also knows that if she let me, I'll work nonstop. So when she wants date night, she puts it in my calendar. And that's literally what we do. Because my thing is that I'm working to build. And so, and I love what I do. I love waking up every morning, going to work, AI and all. So, and it's great. So, uh, because I do believe that I'm making an impact. And Betty, I'll tell you, if one of the things that I do is corporate communications, and I'd love to work with you to help you do some stuff to get some prize.
And being a fun spawn. No, like legit, like, because I was where you are, and I asked you assistance that I think could help turn that around for you. One brutal truth about entrepreneurship is I actually don't believe everybody should be an entrepreneur. I do believe that it takes a special type of, oh, you say sure, but I do believe that it takes a special type of person. But I also think that there's value in being the person who helps the entrepreneur bring the vision to life. And that's why as entrepreneurs, you have to make sure that our vision is big enough so that we can house and facilitate the vision of the people that work with us. But I think if you do want to, yeah, but that's the brutal truth that everybody shouldn't be one, but you can still contribute to building a vision that's bigger than yourself and be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. One thing I'll tell them to stop is asking advice or listening to advice from people who don't have the life that you want. And oftentimes, especially people who are closest to us, when we share our ideas and our entrepreneurial aspirations, one of the first things they do is they shoot us down because they are projecting, right? Me and you from the same place. So why you think you could do that? Because that ain't for us, that's for them. So I'll say stop sharing um, with people who can add value to what it is that you want to do, and really start developing your own blueprint for success. Everybody's, like I said before, the principles of success are universal. And so if you're successful in one area of your life, you can apply those same principles to any area of your life. And so nobody in the world, nobody in this room sucks at everything. There's something that you do in your life that you excel at, and that's video games, whether that's being the best auntie, whether that's being the best son. There's something that you excel at. Just apply those same principles that you apply to that thing that you excel at and to any other area of your life, and you can have that same or even greater level of success in whatever area of your life you want. Oh, I mean, I started with no capital, no nothing, right? And so, to Dana's point, like, acquire skills. I think the best skill that any entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur could have is sales. You have to know how to sell. I mean, we sell every day. You know, we sell our ideas, we sell our thoughts, we sell our ideology. And so my thing would be to acquire the skill of sales and find something to sell and somebody with a lot of money to sell it to. Like, and I'm not joking with that. Like, sales is literally the lifeblood of everything that we do in life. So if you could acquire the skill, learn the skill, and master the skill of sales, that's where I would start off. If I had, I mean, I still doing it, but if I had absolute bad start over, that's the first thing I would do: acquire the skill of sales. Um, so one of the things too is that when we think, it's so often when we think about investing, we automatically go to money, right? But you can invest the time, you could invest the energy, you could invest the effort. And especially when you're starting out as a new entrepreneur and you don't have the money, you have the time to learn the skills. When you get the skills and you get the money, then you can hire people with the skills to continue to propel the business forward. And so if we expand our thought process of what investing actually is to beyond financial, that's important. But if you ain't got the money, get the time. So just like Dean, I learned how to build my first website because I couldn't pay anybody to do it. I didn't have any clients coming in, so I had time to learn how to build a website. I had time to learn how to sell. And so that's what I would say. Like, just investing isn't just putting money down for something. It's also investing the time, energy, efforts, and whatever resources that you have easy, ready access to, maximize those to the fullest.